A couple years ago, me and my fiancée Gabby moved into a quiet suburban neighborhood that seemed perfect. The neighbors next door seemed especially friendly. Daniel and Veronica even baked us a red velvet cake. Everything about the neighborhood felt peaceful at first. Honestly, it felt too good to be true. A few weeks later, things started getting strange. Eventually, I saw Veronica storm out, get into her car, and drive away.
I think they're just fighting.
Yeah, probably. It happens.
A few days later, it happened again. This time, we could hear them clearly. Then I realized Veronica's car had been gone for several days.
At first we thought maybe they got divorced or something after all the arguing.
Yeah, maybe. But I haven't seen her car for weeks.
Daniel started acting different too. Every interaction with him suddenly felt uncomfortable.
I'm gonna ask Daniel directly about Veronica.
Noah, you need to stay out of the neighbor's private business.
I knew he was home because his car was there, but it took almost 3 minutes for him to answer the door.
When he finally answered, he looked completely off, sweating, nervous, and forcing this weird fake smile.
He said Veronica had gone out of state to take care of her sick mother, but the way he said it felt completely rehearsed.
He talked really fast, like he wanted the conversation over as quickly as possible. Daniel, why are you sweating so much?
Then I heard it. A woman screaming for help, somewhere inside the house.
What was that scream? It was just a movie playing upstairs. It was accidentally unpaused. That's a lie. Narrator.
The second I left his porch, I knew something was seriously wrong.
I saw him. He was standing in the rain, just staring.
You have to call the police, Noah. Now!
I asked the dispatcher to keep the report anonymous, even though I knew Daniel would probably suspect it was me.
About 20 minutes later, a police cruiser finally pulled up outside Daniel's house. Watching the officer walk up to Daniel's porch honestly made my stomach turn. Then suddenly, the officer called for backup. Within minutes, the entire neighborhood was filled with police cars and an ambulance. That's when I saw Veronica being carried out on a stretcher and realized how horrifying the situation really was. As they dragged him toward the police car, Daniel looked straight at me and screamed, "I know it was you who snitched on me." That whole night felt unreal. Like our quiet neighborhood suddenly turned into a nightmare. That's when we learned the truth. Daniel had been keeping Veronica locked in the basement for weeks. He had abused her for weeks in that basement while all of us lived right beside them completely unaware. I couldn't stop thinking about how normal Daniel seemed when we first met him. The next morning, the entire neighborhood looked completely different. Gabby and I barely spoke the next day. We were both completely shaken.
Detectives kept asking me about every interaction I'd had with Daniel. Can you tell me more about that Friday?
Every memory with him suddenly felt different after we learned the truth. What haunted me most wasn't just what Daniel did. It was the way he looked at me before they took him away. After everything happened, I started checking the neighbor's house constantly at night. A few times, I could have sworn I saw movement inside the house, even though it was supposed to be empty.
Then came the dream. you you'd regret this.
Then I woke up for real and realized it had all been a dream. What happened?
It was only a bad dream.
Even after waking up, I couldn't stop hearing Daniel's voice in my head. At one point, I could have sworn I saw a light flicker inside the basement.
Eventually, Gabby admitted she didn't feel safe living there anymore either.
A few months later, we moved away. I remember staring at Daniel's house one last time as we drove away. We eventually settled into another house across town, but things never really felt normal again. But the nightmares kept happening. Every dream always ended the same way, with Daniel coming toward me. Even now, years later, I still remember those dreams perfectly. That whole experience permanently changed the way I look at people. The scariest part wasn't Daniel himself. It was how normal everything looked before the truth came out. Sometimes I still wonder if part of him stayed in that house. Maybe it was just paranoia, but I could never fully shake the feeling that something still remained there.
Even years later, little sounds in the middle of the night still make my heart stop.
That's the terrifying thing about people like Daniel. Sometimes you never really know who's living right next door.
Some places don't just hold memories. They hold what happened there. And honestly, I don't think I'll ever completely forget Daniel. Maybe some things don't ever really leave a place once they happen there.
I told you. You'd regret it.
Some nightmares don't stay buried. And that house still hasn't found new owners.